not say the N-word, Joseph.
We're live. We can't call it.
I know you love it. And guess what? If you don't say the N-word, you get a little treat.
Double stuff
Oreo cookie. Last but not least, do not insult Israel. Don't you dare.
You love the Jews.
You love the Jews. So I think we're good. What's that smell?
It's like someone pooped their pants.
Joseph! Because we've had a case study, Piers. We've had 4 years of Trump, and now we're going to have 4 years of Biden. There is no debate. There's no arguing. The country is shit right now. And I know Hasan said, Trump was talking about the border and the illegals are the problem. They are the problem, okay? They are. Carrie mentioned one story. There's been 4 this week, 4 of young girls getting raped and murders. And people...
I have to... edit that. Anyway, guys, so Vincent Oshana stepped into, he's the PBD Podcast host, one of them, and he stepped into the ring with Hasan Piker and really like clobbered Hasan Piker. It got deep. It did. So we're going to take a look at that. There's a lot of people who think things are just like, oh, it's not nice to say certain things. I can't deal with it anymore, right? What he's saying about the illegals coming through the border, it may not be all illegal. God, I hate even having to say not all. No. As a friend of mine used to say, and probably still says, Josh Slocum from the Disaffected Podcast, provide your own not alls. Although people just don't even do that anymore. So it's just crazy.
Like that say, oh, it's not really a problem. You say that because it's not happening to you or your family or your daughter or your mother, okay? It is a problem. And by the end of this 4 years, the number's probably going to be 18 million.
The whole state of California. I don't know what you're talking about. I live in California.
Yeah.
We are the largest border state, as the governor also mentioned.
Yeah, it's a whole.
Oh yeah, it's a total hellhole, dude.
California is a shit
sinking.
show.
Look at your tan.
Oh, yeah, it's sinking. By the way, first of all, I don't respect any Nepo baby that thinks Twitch streaming is a job. And I want the audience to know, this guy, Hasan, has said in the past that America deserved 9/11. So don't even talk. Don't even open your mouth. Don't even open your mouth. You don't have no reason to talk. Just shut up.
I'm a big fan of you.
Just do me a favor and shut up.
I'm a big fan of you.
Okay, but hold on.
I'm a big fan of you, so I don't want you to die. I feel like your heart pressure is going up. You're turning... You're turning red, Vinny.
Somebody like you to say America deserved 9/11, Hasan, you shouldn't be on this fucking panel. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't be on the panel. Now, when he said Nepo baby, this is his uncle. And Hasan just kind of rode the coattails of Cenk Uygur, for how much he gets on my nerves. Cenk Uygur definitely, he put the work in. He did put the work in. I'm sure he's taking corporate money now, whatever, right? But he at least put the work in. Hasan Piker, he definitely rides the coattails of his uncle, and you know what? Whatever. Hey, get your bag, right? Because when the empire grows for BTA News and anything else I'm doing, of course I'm definitely going to look out for the family, right? But at the same time, I will also teach the family that you got to work hard to make your visions come true. Now, coming back to the point anyway, so that's like a whole other thing, right? And I want to thank everybody who's watching, guys. If you're new here to BTA News, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and the notification bell. Really, really, really helps out a lot. Hasan Piker is a full communist as well. This word, I've been saying it a lot lately. I call out the communists. They're waiting for the downfall of America. The downfall of America equals to the downfall of Western civilization, and then the communists get to take over. They can't wait for the suffrage to come, okay? Except for these fools don't realize that they'll be part of the suffrage too. I'm not here for it, okay? Now, what he's saying, so for him to say, like, America deserved 9/11, but I bet you he wouldn't speak the truth about 9/11 on his show, right? He wouldn't even dare to do it. It's funny because I watch Fresh and Fit, and a lot of people have a lot to say about people about Fresh and Fit, Myron and all them or whatever. They have a lot to say. Oh, these guys, they think that they're all that, blah, blah, blah. But I'll tell you this, they do talk about the hard topics on their show. Unfortunately, but they can't talk about them on certain platforms. So then they have to go to other platforms and talk about, at least they talk about it. I'm pretty sure Hasan Piker has never talked about 9/11 the way it should be talked about. So he doesn't get a chance or a right to say certain things. And even if you know the full truth about 9/11, you still should never say America deserved 9/11. A lot of innocent people died that day. And no matter what you know or don't know, people died. And so I could never say that about like, come on. It felt like the end of the world that day. Like and these are the people here who like live here, Twitch stream, and hate the country. Like, the country needs to be fixed. I'm not under any kind of, delirium or illusions that the country's perfect. No. We have a lot of things to fix, but I don't hate my home. I want to help my home.
For my language, Piers, he doesn't belong on your show. That being said, Piers, it'll be a huge challenge.
Triggered, Vinny?
Huge challenge for Democrats.
Should we invoke Donald Trump right now and say, let's not be children?
Yeah, I think that's a very good call.
She's a clown. She's an absolute clown show. Jenna Ellis is just the biggest clown. Somebody get the clown. I don't know what she just said. That's as much as I'm going to give her.
Jenna, yeah.
Cenk don't know what to say. All right, sorry.
Can we get back to the...
Do you know what was interesting? What was interesting? Well, hang on. What was interesting about last night, actually? I'll bring Cenk back in here.
Also, too, I want to bring it to Vinny, who's like going full Brooklyn, like nah. Like, I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, I absolutely love it.
I liked the format actually of the way CNN did this. I thought Jake Tapper and Dana Bash did a very competent job, but also I liked the format where there was no audience to manipulate, perhaps, or save a candidate for themselves. Or to overreact to try and drown out a particularly salient point. And the mute button worked very well. You could see both candidates trying to speak at various times when their mute button was on. I don't know what you thought, but I actually thought it was a pretty good format for showing us what the reality was of these two candidates.
So, Piers, a lot of people are criticizing CNN now. And in fact, they themselves this morning admitted that maybe we should have fact-checked Trump once or twice. When he said, like, deranged things like, oh, there's post-birth abortions. That doesn't make any sense at all.
But my answer would be, why Joe Biden should have done it. Right? Biden should have called him out on all those things, but he wasn't able to do it.
She's so annoying.
Hold on. That's exactly what I'm getting to.
Right.
So, when somebody says something so stupid like that, and like Trump says, oh, they let out all the mental institutions and the prisoners of countries. The opponent has a responsibility to say, which countries?
Yeah.
Tell me which countries released all their prisoners and mental inmates, etc. What are you talking about post-birth abortion? That doesn't even make any sense, you deranged lunatic.
Okay, so I'm going to help out Cenk with the post-birth abortions, and I'm going to answer that chat that came through that I showed you guys, right? So here's the thing, two things, right? Number one, the mental institution things and like releasing them, why wouldn't they? America has become a dumping ground for everybody. All right, just so you know, like, why not? I mean, listen, these countries would be stupid not to do it. They'd be absolutely dumb not to do it. I'm not saying it's the right thing. I live here. So I'm the one receiving it, right? But they would be dumb not to do it, because at the end of the day, Joe Biden said the country was wide open. Now they've cracked down on the borders, though, because election season's coming up. So, there's nobody's talking about the borders anymore. Whatever. That's how they play us. It's all theater. It's all theater. They give us theater while they do their thing. And there's a lot of illegal people who came in here. And yes, when you come in, if you break in my house, dog, you came in illegally. I'm sure you're a nice person. I'm sure I probably talked to some of them. But you came here illegally, right? And they are registering to vote. In Philadelphia, click the thing, get the license, click the thing, registered. It's just that easy. No, it's not happening. Somebody told me on the space. No, it's not happening. No, it is happening. I see how it's happening. Anyway, coming back to the post-birth abortion, and I don't have the exact name of the senator who did talk about this, saying that if a child is born and might have a problem, instead of giving them life-saving, like a lot of times there's babies who are born, they might be born with like necronium. I believe it's like the necronium. It's the stool. You'll see the stool, and they might have inhaled some of the stool on their way out, so they might need some respiratory assistance or whatever. But let's say mom decides last minute, like, you know what, I don't think I even want this child. And so this senator, I wish somebody could tell me, like, the senator was saying that, you know what, we should have a way where we just kind of leave the baby aside, and if it makes it, it makes it. It don't. So that's the kind of post-term. Or, to be honest, the loopholes are crazy. I'm sure in California, people say, oh, the only time a woman should, people have to be careful what they're saying. Like late term abortions or this, that, and the third should be a thing only if the mother's life is at risk. And I'm like, do you understand how easy it is to say the mother's life is at risk, right? No disrespect. And so shout out to my girl Mel, who's on Twitter or whatever, but she's like, that's not even a reason, because she gets it. All you have to say is, I feel suicidal. I feel like I want to unalive myself, right? And then now the mother's life is at risk. Very easy. Yo, ICD-9 code, too easy. ICD-10, sorry, that's what they are. ICD-10 codes for the insurance. Mom feels like she wants to unalive herself. Well, now we have to save the mom. Mom could be in the middle of having the baby and say, I want to unalive myself. Let me tell you something. I don't judge women on what they do. I don't judge people on what they do. I don't want things pushed on me, but I don't judge people on what they do. That's between them and God. And I don't think that you can fix a society by putting laws for abortion. I think that what you really have to do is have a grassroots organization that goes back, talks to girls, telling them that they're worth it and that they don't need to keep getting pregnant and having abortions over and over and over and over and over again. And yeah, that is really what happens, especially in the Black community. And I'm saying over and over and over. Like, I'm not talking about like, oh, maybe 2 times. No, I know people who had them like 20 times. Okay. So there's a real discussion about abortion that nobody wants to have. I'm more than willing to have it, but you're not going to save it necessarily by a law. But what I will say is that if there was a law that came out and straight up said it was banned, people wouldn't be going to the back alleys. They would think twice. That's all. They would think twice. But anyway, you know, I know that's a little controversial. I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. Because a lot of people say too, like, oh, you should be able to, like, what if the child has a birth defect? And you know how many times those ultrasounds are wrong? Having children is not to like, having children, getting pregnant, it shouldn't be something that just is willy-nilly. We've become such a willy-nilly society that we don't know how to control it anymore. Well, laws ain't going to do it. And I mean, like I keep saying, we're 2 seconds to a communist takeover. So like the laws certainly ain't going to do it. So I don't know. But the part though was I think it was Mary Mushroom who said that Hasan Piker grifts about how much he donates to Palestine. Yeah, that is a grift, because you can donate to Palestine. That's fine, because what's going on in Palestine, I don't care. Like, you know what? Hey, of course, people want to help and do things. That's fine. But when you're showing off about it, I know a lot of people who do a lot of things and they don't tell people. That's number one. Number two, I bet Hasan wouldn't really do anything here. I'm not saying, whoa, and I want to be clear, like those babies over there, what they're going through, like, my God, okay? But this man also hates this country. He does. He hates the country. But a lot of communists do. I talk to communists every day now. I realize I'm talking to communists when I'm on Twitter and the things that they say. I don't get it twisted. You know, I don't get it twisted where it's like, where somebody's saying when I say we need to free Palestine, first of all, because bombs shouldn't just drop like that. Like, that's crazy. We're about to be a year into this. That's number one. Number two, free Palestine frees America. Because if we really did free Palestine, that would mean that America has been, you know, decoupled from the Israel lobby. So that's why I say it, right? They say free Palestine because we'll get into a war, right? We'll get into a war that'll take down Israel, which will take down America. And by the way, when I say decoupled, it's not even that I want to decouple America from the Israel lobby. I want to remove the chains from it, though. But I don't want to send Israel to be like a rogue state. Now we're getting into geopol. But the point that I'm making is that that's why I say, but when they say these communists, they want to see a takedown, they want to see the dollar crash, and the dollar is close to crashing. A lot of people don't know that the dollar is now not binded by the petro. Saudi Arabia can finally just say, because like there was supposed to be a renewal of some sort of, it's not a signed contract, but there's supposed to be some renewal of, like, you know, the dollar being backed by oil, and they didn't renew it. So to me, it's like we're on a month-to-month lease until the war breaks out, and then they'll say, oh, that's why a dollar crashed. But it technically, maybe was it always the plan? Is this the communist takeover? I don't know. And I've been really like looking into this. So yeah, I know I keep saying that word, but I live here. There's children here. You know, our country should not have to suffer for what the people on top have done for selling out the country. And citizens don't know. People don't have time to know. They work so hard and trying to make a good life for their families. And it's not right that the people who are going to suffer for the sick decisions of the establishment is going to be anybody but the establishment. I don't think so. So I would love to wake people up to that, but I don't hate this country. No, the citizens didn't do anything to me.